Hey, thanks for clicking this video. Just a friendly reminder, this is a clip from my previous live stream. And if you want to catch me live in action so you can join the conversation, just remember I live stream Sunday through Friday. That's 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And I'm going to post the time right here because I know some people don't want to Google. So nevertheless, go ahead and enjoy this video. So one of the main issues that I really solidified after watching this Bill Maher and what's her name, Lara Trump, yes, her, is someone like Bill Maher. And if I try to believe that he's trying to be in the middle, he's trying to, be part Democrat, part Republican, however that looks, how are you going to be a racist and like someone who's for Medicare for all? Like, that really doesn't mix too well. But okay, let's first, just for kicks and giggles, believe that Bill Maher is striving to be in the middle, which I'm starting to believe that can be its own political party. People who want to cry, oh my God, both sides. Like, no, there's no such thing as a both sides anymore. You find yourself when you're talking, especially to a Trump supporter or a Trump themselves, you find yourself always having to concede to the most craziest things that maybe 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago would not be something people would concede on. Like, no, like government scandals is now normalized. It's been countless of videos and information put out on how Trump has literally made billions of dollars just for using his power and his family alone. Talk about conflict of interest, my ass. And we're just like, okay, all right, Trump scammed people during his cryptocurrency scam. Like, oh, Melania came out with a crypto coin, scammed millions of dollars. All right, what's next? Like, no, that's something you just don't like. I mean, yeah, that's just normal. But the left, they want to, I guess, free buses. You see, both sides are crazy. No. And here's 5 reasons that I came up with to why you should not normalize or concede to Republicans and be another Bill Maher. 1, normalizes extremism, makes dangerous behavior seem normal or acceptable. 2, hides accountability, lets harmful politicians avoid blame by saying both sides do it, which we've been seeing for the past, 10, 15 years. 3, misleads voters, creates confusions about which party actually poses a real threat. And I promise you, I speak to these people all the time. Well, I mean, both parties are corrupt, right? Well, one's more corrupt, way more corrupt than the other. No, it's not. Bro, what are you talking about? 4, discourages voting. People think they're all the same, so they stay home, which according to the data, that is a real problem. And then 5, strengthens extremists. False balance gives the dangerous party the cover it needs to grow. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is not safe to sit here and play the both sides game. I do not like people like that. They are cowards. They are too scared to pick a side. So they both sides every conversation. So let's go ahead, get into this video
like that,
and hopefully I don't get another headache. Trust me, This is what? An hour and 28 minutes, and I swear to you, it was a long hour, 28 minutes, but there's two segments I want to cover. The first one's at 29. Let's see. All right, let's get into it.
Soft spot for people who are...
Oh, what? Actually, I think I might need the famous blockers. Yes, I think I cannot use his content. I will get in trouble by YouTube. So guess what? We need the blockers. Hold on. And oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's see. And once again, if you just squint, hold your phone out, you won't even see the black lines. Okay. Let's get into it.
Loyal to them. They are. This, more than any I've ever seen, and I've been covering this quite a long time, looks like you get one treatment if you're a friend of the president and one treatment if you don't. I mean, to go after someone for checking the wrong box on the mortgage application, I'm sure that there are people who are Republicans, good Republicans, who have, if you went through their mortgage applications for the last 40 years, you would find a lot of them who checked the wrong box, the one that said, oh, you know what, I have two houses and I listed them both as a primary residence, which like everybody does, but they don't go after those people. You see what I'm saying?
Who are you referring to in this one?
Well, he's going after two people now. We just found out this week, and I don't even like this guy, Congressman Eric Swalwell, had him on the show. I thought, wow, this guy is just way too hungry. Thirsty, I think the kids call
thirsty.
It.
The kids do say thirsty.
He's thirsty
yeah.
and just too left for me, like California. And so, like, did I cry crocodile tears? No. But, like, he and Letitia James, I think, in New York. I mean, we're talking about checking the wrong box on a... If you're going to do that, let's go through everybody's mortgage, because I think you'll find some people on your side who might have done that.
I can promise you this. Our family has been scrutinized, attacked under a microscope. I would probably argue more than any family.
Well, of course, because your father-in-law is the president.
Yeah,
twice.
but it's not just...
Hey, do you, one, this was a constant thing throughout this interview. She always pivoted to something else. It didn't even, some of the pivots didn't even make sense, but she would just pivot. Why is the Trump administration, well, we know why. He wants to go after people who don't like him. Point blank, period. So he's going to find anything to go after these people. And that's pretty much what Bill Maher said, which makes sense. But then you'll see later on that he can't fight her on that because he has to play both sides. He can't be too aggressive, because then he's going to lose his MAGA base. And that's not good for profits. That's not good for business. But let's hear her reasoning behind why the Trump administration is attacking his political enemies. Like Bill said, he could go after everybody in regards to that. Check everybody's mortgage application. But no, specific people, right? Obviously.
Family.
Well, of course, because your father-in-law is the president.
Yeah,
twice.
but it's not just that he's the president, it's that he's Donald Trump as the president. I mean, they've gone after all of us in such
go after everybody
an aggressive way.
They didn't go after Obama and Clinton in an aggressive way.
Not like this, Bill.
Oh, please.
But really? When did you see
Clinton?
Obama and Clinton's residences, personal private property, raided by the FBI? When did they have indictments against them to put them in jail for the rest of their life? That everybody can agree were a little outrageous, Bill. Like, really?
I agree on the don't go into somebody's bathroom, but also you shouldn't probably keeping files in your bathroom. But yes, that was over the...
Once again, if you break the laws, if you do the crime, you gotta do the time. Where people just didn't imagine Trump in these crimes. They actually had court proceedings. They actually had a jury. They actually came to a conclusion. And that's why Trump is a felon. Like what are we doing here? But no, I mean, they're just going after Donald Trump because he's Donald Trump. No, you're an idiot if you believe that.
The top.
It was a little over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah.
But if you're asking why they didn't go after Obama and Clinton for certain things, because Clinton and Obama never got on the phone and said, I need you to find me 11,000 votes. That is as close to a smoking gun as I can imagine for something that I would.
Bill, that's not close to a smoking gun. Once again, you're playing too safe here. If you're that, straight shooter that you and sucker ass Smith claim to be, that's not close to a smoking gun. We can hear the audio of Trump asking to rig the election. What more smoking of a gun do you need? I mean, damn. Am I the crazy one? I must be the crazy one because that's a smoking gun to me.
As close to a smoking gun as I can imagine
Well,
for something that I would say, wait a second, I do agree we should give presidents broad latitude. We don't want to become those South American countries where you're just always putting the last guy in jail. I agree. But that one, come on, you just can't do that. You just can't call up a state after an election's over and say, look, you got to find me. You can't find votes. We vote, we tabulate them up, we count them, and then
no one knows this better than I do because I was the co-chair of the RNC and I worked really hard on election integrity last year, Bill. I'll say that. What did you think of Tulsi Gabbard's report that came out about what Obama did, though, after the 2016 election?
What did he?
What are we talking about? Bill, hound her on that. Make her answer the question or the comment. Deal with that. I mean, but let's talk about Obama, right? Yeah, the whole Obama thing. Yeah, because he's the real bad guy, right? Not Trump, who literally tried to rig the election because he knew he lost. No, let's do this weird, awkward pivot to Obama. Bill Maher, you are not equipped for this job. I'm sorry. You are whack. You are too safe. You are too scared. You are a coward. A coward should not be doing your job. Get out of there. Retire. You are embarrassing. Do not call yourself a Democrat. Don't even do that. You are embarrassing. Just gonna let that slide. Oh, man. All right, let's get into the next one.
If you don't belong in this country legally, but you also shouldn't get that as the punishment. It just went, it's like everything goes too far. DOGE went too far.
DOGE go too far? You didn't like DOGE? You didn't like cutting the fat off the federal government? What did you like about DOGE?
I do like cutting the fat off the federal, but not the way they did it. Just by, come on, man.
Here we go.
I mean, there were people who died who did not have to. They were getting aid. They just cut it off like immediately. They let food rot rather than have it go out to people because it was just so unnecessary and it was so unthoughtful. You could have done a very careful study as soon as you got into office. It took months. It would take months. It is the federal government. And found out where the fat was, which has been done by other administrations, and then went about cutting that no, that's not what they did. I've got a chainsaw. I've got a sledgehammer. Let's just break shit.
Well, sometimes.
Now, why would Bill Maher think that someone like Trump is going to be strategic in a way to make sure that we can lean up our government spending? What thought in Bill Maher's head did he think that? You can look at Trump and no, he's not a strategic person. You can hear him talk for 5 minutes. The guy who said he has concepts of a plan, how many X amount of years ago, still haven't seen a concept, and you think he's going to be strategic on this?
I've got a chainsaw. I've got a sledgehammer. Let's just break shit.
Well, sometimes I will say this: you're never going to please everybody, and you're never going to do something where everybody says this is fantastic, because that's the nature of all of it, right? However, this is a president who does look at things differently, and you can criticize things like that, but you also have to acknowledge so much of the good, I think, that has been done by him as well. The fact that he...
Oh my God. Once again, I don't want to answer the tough questions. I'm just going to say, hey, why can't we just focus on the, I don't know, good things that he did? Hey, guess what? I got some facts for that ass. Once again, she said, we can't please everybody. I mean, we can't please everybody. Hey, I guarantee you listening right now, we all can agree that cutting Pentagon expenses, the Department of Defense cutting that X amount of dollars, 40%, 50%, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we all as Americans can agree to that, because guess what? The Department of Defense requested about $849.8 billion for the fiscal year 2025. In November of 2024, the Pentagon failed to pass its annual audit, meaning that it wasn't able to fully account for how its $824 billion budget was used. This was the seventh failed audit in a row since the Department of Defense became required to undergo yearly audits in 2015. Hey guys, you want to talk about cutting something, making something lean, cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse? Maybe your ass should start there. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You guys didn't really care about that, right? They didn't really care about that. But you know what they did cut? Hey, guess what? I got the numbers for you. It was reported that around 83% of USAID program contracts were terminated in one phase of the DOGE cuts. The cuts targeted foreign assistance more broadly. One report said the administration aimed to eliminate roughly $60 billion in foreign aid spending. And this includes people in countries like Zambia, Haiti, are losing access to HIV medicine, causing more infections and death. Let's cut that, right? But not military spending, right? Let's cut that. Hey, there's more. Programs that stop the spread of HIV worldwide lost funding, risking thousands of new infections every day. Shelters and programs that protected children, because the Republican Party is the party of protecting children, right? Okay, got you. Shelters and programs that protected children from trafficking and abuse now have fewer staff, less food, and weaker support. Can somebody tell Laura Loomer, or not Laura Loomer, she kind of looks like her, Laura Trump, she can start there? But no, Bill Maher, it took me about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to accumulate some of these notes. You can do that if you was really about holding powerful people, the wealthy people, accountable. If you was really about that life, you would have had this ready. And I know Laura Trump is not, at least I don't think she has any important position. She probably does. Her last name is Trump. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's like, if you have an opportunity to hold somebody's feet to the fire, this would be the time. This would be the moment, and you failed. And we already know why he failed. Trying to play it safe. Be both sides, right?
He was criticized initially over the tariffs.
Middle East.
Okay, well, wait. The tariffs, everybody said...
And I gave him
this is
endless credit for that.
Okay, so the tariffs not only have brought in almost $200 billion of money into our country.
Okay, listen. She's bragging on how much tariffs brought money to the U.S. Remember that. I need you to listen to this again. This is how they get you. Listen.
Tariffs, everybody said...
And I gave him
this is
endless credit for that.
Okay, so the tariffs not only have brought in almost $200 billion of money into our country, but I think it's around 195 million. But they have also been leveraged in order to get trade agreements.
People too. That's why he's giving out a $2,000 tariff check, which they said will cost them.
We have 8 wars around the world that have been settled. And
hey, what are we talking about here? She's trying to conflate ending wars in other countries and saying that it is okay that we are double taxing American citizens. That does not make any sense. No, that does not make sense. What American applied? What American agreed to paying extra in tariffs? Because we all know tariffs on other countries tax the people who are buying the goods. Us, companies, we are getting taxed. Companies have to outsource for their businesses, so they have to pay the extra money. And they're not going to mess up their profit. They're not going to close the doors to their business. So guess where that money is rolling down to? Us. So we're paying extra to supposedly stop wars? Okay, riddle me this, Batman. How come the war hasn't ended with the Palestinian people? Israel's still bombing people. How is Trump tariffing Israel? I want to know. I couldn't look it up. Can somebody tell me, is America, did Trump increase the tariffs on Israel to quote unquote stop the war? I don't know. So once again, none of this makes sense here. You cannot normalize stupidity. This cannot be a thing. And that is what exactly Bill Maher is constantly doing. Just by this conversation alone, he is doing.
Which they said will cost them.
We have 8 wars around the world that have been settled. And whether we're talking about India or Pakistan, we're talking about Cambodia and Thailand. They say the reason that we decided to settle these skirmishes and these conflicts was because of the tariffs.
Yes,
and we
I
have
understand.
trade agreements because of the tariffs.
I talked about that on my show
and
recently.
So you have to acknowledge that he has been able to do some miraculous things because the way he goes about things and because his mind works very differently, I think, than anyone else we've ever had as president. There's no doubt about it.
You know what? And that is probably the most sane thing she done said. Yes, his brain works differently than everybody else because he's a complete idiot. He's not just an idiot. He is 100% Super Saiyan level 5, Kaioken times 10 idiot. Like, he is the pinnacle of stupidity. If this was a religion, God would be, or Trump would be the God of the stupid people. That's simple. So yes, she is right. Trump's brain, thank God, does not work like everybody else's. The guy who bankrupt 4 or 5 casinos. How the hell? I'm still waiting on an answer here. How the hell do you bankrupt casinos where people are literally giving their money to you? They have an addiction of giving their money to you. How do you bankrupt that? Not once, not twice, not 3, 4. So yeah, hey guys, stop normalizing stupidity. That simple.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you know.